And welcome to the Minnesota Timberwolves Rebuild here on 2K19, and this is going to be an off-season rebuild, very similar to the ones I have done. And for this rebuild, I am controlling the Minnesota Timberwolves, so nothing much has changed other than Montrezl Harrell getting the Sixth Man of the Year award. So I expect maybe a couple Timberwolves players to be recognized here, but apparently we do not get any. That's surprising enough. So Karl-Anthony Towns is somewhat not good in this sim engine, but look at player stats because I doubt. I mean, he did pretty good. He did sign a big extension, so maybe that'll be a thing to come. So he averaged 23 points, 12 rebounds. So I still don't know how he did not make any awards. I mean, he got All-Star this year, but other than that, nothing much. So don't know why I just backed out of that. Derrick Rose had a phenomenal year. Let's just go over here to his player stats. I mean, he's really stepping up. Andrew Wiggins, we could move on from him. That big contract is not cutting it up there in Minnesota. He looked like the promised player when Cleveland drafted him and then was traded to Minnesota. So Rocco may be the small forward for the future, but they averaged different number of points, but Rocco rebounded more and Wiggins passed the ball more. It just depends on how it goes in free agency this year. We may keep him for 1 year and see how it goes. It just depends, because we need to send Wiggins to defense, perimeter defense, because his is a C, I believe. Yeah, C+, while Roadco is an A+. So if we can keep Wiggins around, that'd be great. Jeff Teague at backup point guard played okay. Can get paid $19 million next year. I'm not too happy about that. Sarge played really well. Taj Gibson in some minutes. Koji played really well, and just a lot of other filler players. So, as we can tell there, we did not make the postseason. In conference, we finished just 4 games out, so that is a good thing to see. But the bad thing is, this Timberwolves team has potential to be one of the best teams in the Western Conference. It just depends on how well the other teams in the conference shape out the next year or two. So right now we're just simulating through the playoffs, and I expect it's going to be the Rockets and Golden State, Toronto and Milwaukee. And so we'll just have to see how it goes. And it's Golden State and Houston. Okay, Houston and Golden State, and then Toronto, Boston. So I've got 2 out of 4 teams right. And then finals, I think it's going to be Golden State and Toronto. And it's Golden State, Toronto, and Golden State's probably going to sweep them, or 1 in 5, or 6, or force a game 7. And they do. And the Warriors win it all. Steph Curry is finals MVP, and I highly doubt the Timberwolves have a first round pick. So I highly doubt that. Okay. Timberwolves do not have a first round pick. It is the Boston's 14th pick. So I'm wondering what Boston did for that trade. Let me just see here. Because I may have to turn on override and get that pick back. Because that pick should belong to us, I think. Hold on just a second. It's going to be a minute before I can figure out research on this. Because the Minnesota Timberwolves deserve that pick, in my opinion. So Tom Thibodeau is out of Minnesota. I think in real life is the owner. I can't remember. So Michael Stauffer will be the new coach. Hopefully he can produce a winning attitude up there in Minnesota. We will get a new assistant coach. Otis Newman. I like bringing him in. This is not going to be a full-on rebuild. It's going to be somewhat realistic, I think. So we'll bring in Sean Lee at trainer. brought him in a while. Pretty much a new house here in Minnesota. If you guys like these 2K19 rebuilds, just let me know by pressing the like button, commenting different teams you want to see being rebuilt and stuff like that. So we do get a whole new lineup here at the old staff side. So let's see here, the Timberwolves pick. Alrighty, and the website crashed. So just give me a second, we'll figure all this out here right before the draft because I'm about to turn on trade override. I'll do that right now just in case. Trade override, turn that on. Hopefully we can get this pick. Celtics pick, obviously they'll get to keep theirs. Where's Minnesota? So they got Memphis's pick. They had the Kings pick. The Clippers. So that pick should be ours. So let's see here. We'll give up a 2023. We'll give up a 2023 second rounder for our pick back from the Celtics, and which turns out to be the 14th pick, so that's really good. And they can also just throw in a future second. So we do get our pick back. I'm sorry about all that. I could not find anything on this website about the Timberwolves pick going to Boston. I don't know how they got that pick. Let's make sure I did turn it off because I already forgot. And I did. Okay, so we do have the 14th pick here in the draft. We kind of don't need a point guard because Derrick Rose could fill that role. But we do need a backup, but we can get that in free agency. Need a shooting guard because Koji could be a good backup man. Tyus Jones really not cutting it here. Don't need a small forward, so we're going to rock with Rocco and Wiggins. Don't really need a power forward because we got Dario Saric, and don't really need a center, so we need just a 1 or 2 guard. So we'll simulate to our pick here, number 14. And alright, so I said point guard or shooting guard. So Trey Jones, Tyus Jones' brother. We could go after him, but we're not going to do that. We could go after that Darius Garland guy from Vandy, even though he never played a game this year. Don't really know his potential here. Keldon Johnson would be interesting, but I always tend to get him. So we need a point guard or a shooting guard. So I think we're going to go after Darius Garland just because he's a two-way point and he can potentially be the point guard of the future for us and potentially back up Derrick Rose next year. So Keldon Johnson's a good player, but I just don't like his play style. So we got Darius Garland there, and let's see here, we got the 46th pick now, and we will pick up a big man. So this guy is overseas and from Lithuania. We really don't need a center, I don't think. So let's look to trade this pick. What can we get for this pick? Anybody open just to give us? Okay, the Warriors will give us. Never mind. Anybody looking to give us a 22nd round pick? So the Celtics look like they're going to be our go-to trade partner. And let's see, pick 14 with our own original pick. We get Darius Garland, which is the best overall player. Shamari Pons, I mean, yeah, I never gotten him before. His defense is awful, but no luck there. So we do get Darius Garland, so we'll bring him in. And team player options, of course, Jeff T, except his massive 19 mil player option. So what can we get for Orgy Dang and Jeff T. That's clearing up 37 mil in cap. Get Zaire Smith. Really don't need a big man. We just need potential good first round pick, and I think Utah would be the best bet there. I tend to get Mitchell Robinson a lot, so we're going to overlook that. And would the Lakers give up Josh Hart and Mo Wagner? I think they would. So this is a good trade right here. So we get a young shooting guard and Josh Hart with 2 stars, Mo Wagner. He could potentially be backing up Karl Anthony Towns in the future. So this is a really good deal. And they do accept that with no draft picks and overall. So Tyus Jones, he does have a qualifying offer. We'll decline that because that's the best for the team. So we'll bring back Derrick Rose. We're kind of set at shooting guard if you think about it, even though Okogie and Hart will cover it. We're good at small forward. I don't think we need to get anybody there. I mean, we're paying Andrew Wiggins 28 mil. Like I said, this is just an experiment. We'll start Rocco and bench Wiggins at the 6th man. So we're good at power forward. We just need to get a backup, and we're good at center. So we need a power forward and bring Derrick Rose back. And I think we're set for just here year 1. Okay, Derrick Rose, we do not have bird years on. He wants 18 mil. Alright, so we will give him about 80.7 mil. So that's about 19.5 per year, roughly. So we'll front load that and give him 74 even. I mean, he does take a pay cut because he will digress. And we will also give him a player option after the 3rd year. And we need a power forward, so we won't really go after these big name guys. But who could potentially back up? We could bring Taj Gibson back, but I don't really see him working out too well. Teletovic, he'd be an interesting fit. Allen Williams is a restricted free agent, so if we offer him, potentially get matched by the Nets. Jonte Porter went undrafted. Luke May went undrafted. Ethan Happ, Ujimari got good grief. All these really good power forwards in this year's draft just went undrafted. So Hollis Jefferson would be interesting, even though he is 6'7". Jonas Jerebko, could we bring him in? He does fit our system pretty well. Jordan Bell would be interesting. He's a restricted guy. Let's offer them both. Let's offer Jerebko and Jordan Bell. I say they'll both accept this, so we just get to pick which one works for us. So they both accept, so let's just decline Jonas Jerebko because he's going to start regressing. Jordan Bell would be interesting. I think he could potentially back up Mario Saric really well. And then we got to bring back Derrick Rose. He had the best year since his rookie year, pretty much. So he played outstanding. Like, this is by far the best he's played since his 2nd, 3rd year. And he's just fell off the beaten path. But if we can bring him back, bring in Jordan Bell, that'd be amazing. Tyus Jones, bring him in to potentially be a 3rd point guard. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So we'll bring back Tyus Jones, but not pay him a lot. So yeah, he wants he wants roughly 8 mil. So if we front load his deal, 15.6 mil. I mean, sure. So we'll bring back Derrick Rose, Tyus Jones, and bring in Jordan Bell. That'd be for the best of the team. We do not have enough money to bring Derrick Rose in. Does that mean we did not still sign him? What the heck? So we gotta go over here and clear up 6 mil. That sucks. So that does mean we're paying Trey Jones so much money. We're keeping Koji. This is harder than I thought. Like, okay, we don't really have a fit for Bates Diop. think he went. Yeah, he went to Ohio State, so we don't see him on the team. So if we could just clear up this money. Shabazz Napier, he seems to always be a good fit, but he's getting paid too much money. I did a Pistons rebuild yesterday. That guy did pretty bad. So, can PJ Tucker? No, he's too big. Why is he listed at power forward? He's 6'6". Roberson can play defense, but he can't shoot. Gary Trent, he could potentially be a backup point guard, but he went to Duke, right? Yeah. So what can we get for just Tyus Jones straight up? Because I know we're overpaying him way too much. John Henson, Robert Williams. Ooh, the Clippers will throw in a first-round pick. Could they potentially do their own pick? No. Could they do? Okay, they had that. Okay, I think it was the Miami pick they were giving us before. Yeah. Okay, Clippers. Yeah, 2021 first round. Tyus Jones. Maybe that'll bring in Derrick Rose, and we do bring him in. The Bulls really want him, but we'll front load his deal and give him that. And we do not want to earn that's rights on him, and we do bring in Derrick Rose. That is really good to see. And let's see here. So we got Derrick Rose. So we got 1, 2, 3, potentially 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so we are good, I think. We'll keep everything the same. So I'm expecting us to be A-okay. It just depends on, you need to play better. So Andrew Wiggins, slowly surely getting up there. But they're just terrible at perimeter defense. Our best player, Robert Covington, Joshua Okogie, and George Garland. So, training camps. Hopefully we have at least 2 training camps, and we will send it all, not all, but both of them to perimeter defense. Actually, we'll do perimeter defense for Derrick Rose, and then untapped potential for Garland. So 2020 draft class we'll download right now. I'm not expecting a whole lot for this year, but so training camps will eventually get there. Washington Wizards got RJ Barrett there on the bottom. That's pretty impressive. So training camps. So we do have 2. So perimeter defense, I said Derrick Rose. He's a D+ out there. And then untapped potential at the year to our other point guard in Darius Garland. He's still an A-, but hey, next year he'll be up to an A at least. So I'm not expecting us to do a whole lot. Look, there it is. There's Shane Larkin again. So hopefully Derrick Rose can potentially be one of the young guys and lead this team. Troy Daniels, you're not going to get any minutes, so sorry about that. Adrian Payne back in Minnesota. And little fun fact, I got to talk to Adrian Payne whenever he was playing for Atlanta or Minnesota. It was summer league games in Vegas, and I was in the Apple store with my parents and my sister, and it was pretty funny. They just walked in, him and Dennis Schroeder, and next thing I know, I fall out of my chair. I was like, "What's up, bro?" He was like, "Not much, man. You okay? I saw you fall out of that chair." And I was like, "Nah, I'm good." And I'm not going to say what he said, but some of you that know the story, that's pretty funny that I got to talk with Adrian Payne, and he seems like a really nice guy. And that was like a couple of months after that little girl that he took care of while he was at Michigan State. It was just pretty special to actually talk to him for just that quick minute or 2. Okay, back to 2K19 here. So they want to give Mo Wagner minutes and Troy Daniels minutes. You're funny, 2K. Oh gosh, our bench is terrible. Oh my gosh. So we'll give Okoji 16 minutes. Jordan Bell 20. Darius Garland 23. 26 to Wiggins. 10 to Adrian Payne. Whoever this coach is I brought in wants to run that kind of rotation. Okay. We're going too many minutes on the bench. Okay, so we'll give 28 to Josh Hart. That seemed reasonable enough because I say he came on off the bench last year. Yeah, he kind of seems like he started a little bit too. Rocco will give 30. Our big three technically will get 30 minutes. And Wiggins and Sarge will split 25. Garland will get 22. No, Michael Stahl for he alone is an 11-man rotation. So first scoring option will be Towns. Second will be Sarge. And then third will be up in the air because we're just going to hopefully just play some good defense here this season. I'm expecting somewhat a little success compared to last year. So power rankings, I say we're going to be 7th on NBA. 2K has us at. Okay, 2K is really hating on Minnesota this year. Let me just tell you. Minnesota at 24 and then 7. So 7, 24, and 7. That's pretty high expectations for this team with only 1, 2, 3, 4 above 80 overall, potentially 5 with how Sarge plays this year. So before I forget, yeah, so we do have bird years on Sarge, but he was 14.5 middle. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes, and that's going to do it for this first part of the Minnesota Timberwolves off-season rebuild.